1992 just called, and they've got a disappointing sequel to sell you. We usually try to provide a little historical context for these movies, but it turns out that 92 was kind of a slow year.
Okay, I guess it wasn't that slow. Back in 1989,
Tim Burton opened Pandora's box of stale tedium by creating the first decent comic book movie. Sorry, Marvel, Batman was better than this. By 92, corpos of every stripe had figured out that the Bat's wings had muscle enough to move all kinds of garbage merchandise. But maybe they went just a little too far this time. The important thing is that the Bat is back in town, and he's pissed at Cirque du Soleil for firing him back in the 80s. This version of Michael Keaton's Batman spends most of his time sulking.
He's like a goddamn Wes Anderson character.
When he's not moping around,
Batman can be found joyriding like a complete dick biscuit.
Custom Tesla! He gets a perverted kick out of knuckle-dusting Gotham's theater nerds and musicians. They may have majored in stagecraft, but Batman majored in murdering people in the most zany ways possible.
Get a load of how Batman treats this adjunct professor of glass blowing.
It's worth noting that this is the first Batman property to cut down on the iconic gun violence that defined the early comic books. Those early 90s PTA moms really knew how to ruin a good time. Opposite the Bat, we have a dapper-looking Danny DeVito as Oswald Copperpot. Copperpot, aka Penguin, is the popular TikTok influencer who has to stop Batman from eradicating Gotham's unwashed artist class. Copperpot has a soft spot for the theater kids because, unlike Batman, he's got the chops.
Stella!
Despite his impressive stage credentials, Copperpot is too humble to ever grow comfortable in the Gotham spotlight. But don't be fooled by his good nature. There's a sting in the tail. Copperpot hates the human schnoz. Get a room, you two. If the film carries a flaw, it's that Copperpot is way too easy to root for. Batman is pretty much a stand-in for a shit-posting Elon Musk. Meanwhile, Copperpot survived a relatively rough upbringing. As an infant, he was abandoned by his parents. Pee Wee Herman and Apollonia from Carnival. I know this looks bad right now, but they're just trying to float him to a better family in an even wealthier part of Gotham. Baby Copperpot gets adopted by oil magnate Daniel Plainview, which might explain why Penguin has so many hang-ups as an adult.
Asswipe.
What's the truth? You're not my son. You never have been. You're no orphan.
God damn, Daniel. Tone it down a little bit. I mean, come on, this guy's had a hard life. Have a heart.
You have none of me in you. You're just a bastard from a basket.
As a result of his water-themed abandonment, Copperpot prefers to spend most of his adult life at the local swimming hole. It's all very Freudian. And Copperpot tries like hell to cheer Batman up and make peace, going so far as to build a working model of Batman's Tesla in hopes of establishing a little camaraderie. He invites Batman to a friendly little Mario Kart-style drag race, something to break the ice.
Hey!
But Batman's more of a PlayStation guy.
Hey! When are we gonna talk about Jack Nicholson? Heath Ledger.
Hey, how about never? We don't do A-tier Batman on this channel. So Batman ends up installing a parking boot on Copperpot's Tesla Jr., prompting Copperpot to construct this giant rubber ducky. Unlike that shit-ass Batman, Copperpot wants to show Gotham that he's still a man of the people and can afford to have a sense of humor about himself. Next, we have Chris Walken playing the good guy corpo boss who'll never get a chance to kiss Sabrina Kyle because she's too good for him. And also, he wouldn't want the power disparity to create a toxic workplace environment. This winning man Walken wants to help Gotham pivot toward green energy, instead of burning up discarded street urchins.
I feel almost vulgar in this Yuletide context mentioning the new power plant, but if we're gonna break ground when we gotta break ground, I'll need permits, variances, tax incentives, that sort of pesky nonsense.
Walken follows OSHA to the letter, and Batman won't stand for it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna fight you on this, and I've already spoken to the mayor.
I mean,
What sort of bat prick has the gall to beat up on a guy like this?
Santa Claus? Afraid not. I'm just a poor schmo. Got lucky. And sue me if I want to give some back.
now don't panic, viewers. We may be low budge and we may be pathetic, but even we wouldn't stoop so low as to trot out some lame-ass Chris Walken impression. Not like those other YouTubers. Now Batman is insanely jealous of Walken, because Walken has earned himself the admiration of Sabrina Kyle. Like Bruce Wayne, Miss Kyle has adopted a kind of alter ego character of Catwoman, and Batman is all horned up. But Catwoman puts Batman in the friend zone, and instead of handling it like an adult, he she lands on a nest of feral cats who seek revenge. In essence, Batman Returns is a retelling of the classic Greek House of Atreus narrative. Revenge begets revenge. And you can think of the entire narrative as one of those fractal patterns of infinite recursion that played on the backs of my eyelids after that gnome lady at the bus shelter gave me a hit of her marmalade sunshine.
Whoa, hey, brother. She's not a gnome. That's just Dale Dickey from Breaking Bad.
And that's why film scholars today still praise Batman Returns as a work of narrative genius.
Time to get paid!
Today's movie breakdown is sponsored by the new game MILF Manor, now available for the one with the X on it. Hey there, lonely and pathetic gamers. Do you have what it takes to survive a sensuous romp with some of the country's wettest MILFs? This is as real as it gets, bucko. Based on the hit reality show, MILF Manor puts you in the driver's seat. Construct your own idyllic manor in 4K resolution. And then try to push it through zoning committee after zoning committee. And then you have to hire the architect and make sure they don't cut corners with that bullshit low-grade lumber. And if you can do that, the manor then has to pass inspection. And God help you if the inspection turns up pine beetles in any of the struts. And you better also be willing to line the inspector's wallet with some fresh Benjamins. But if you can get through all of that, you get to occupy a splendid manor filled with raw, sweaty MILFs. Rated E for everyone.
Yeah, brother. That was way better than the one you did for the butt wipes.
Yeah, I still don't feel right about these ads. This game just doesn't sound very wholesome. I mean, what kind of message are we delivering to our younger viewers?
What are you talking about, man? You played that game for like 30 hours straight. If I hadn't brought you that bottle of Gatorade, you would have dried up like a turd in the desert.
How am I supposed to do the ad if I haven't tried the product?
Oh, you tried it all right. Hey, does that game really run in 4K?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think my console installed the last update. I could barely even tell which characters were supposed to be MILFs.
Jesus Christ, dude, I haven't seen those things since Slick Willie was in office.
Well, it's all I could afford.
I guess your life really is pathetic.
I think rock bottom was the time you signed me up to do stand-up comedy. My, what an attractive crowd. Hey, I wonder how many of you are Steve Guttenberg fanatics like I am.
I am sorry about that. I thought it might make us some money.
My life is ghastly.
I guess you do seem more pathetic than usual. What's the deal?
I didn't think I'd have to turn YouTube tricks at the ripe old age of 32.
Holy shit, you're only 32?
Spent most of my 20s living in an inner city playground. I had to sleep inside one of those plastic submarines the little kids like to piss into.
Yeah, but how's this apartment any better than the piss house?
I don't know. Maybe I should just throw in the towel. I don't know what these kids are talking about when they call everything based or no cap. And let's face it, I'll never be able to compete with all those Jack Paul brothers.
Well, you could always pretend to be Red Pill. Those guys make shit heaps of money.
Yeah, pills give me diarrhea. I can barely tolerate aspirin.
Well, have you considered working on your image just a little bit? I mean, no offense, but you look like Paul Giamatti knocked up the corpse of Lon Chaney.
But I just got the lighting the way I like it.
Look, no matter how pathetic this is, you can't just give up.
Why the hell not?
I don't know. I think I enjoy, watching you fail and fuck up your life even worse.
Hey, thanks. I think I needed to hear that today.
Now go get 'em, sad boy. Move that dumpy ass.
Ad time's over, bitches. Game on! Believe it or not, Batman isn't done acting like a complete rat bastard. Meanwhile, good guy Copperpot rejects Sabrina Kyle's enticing romantic overtures because he wouldn't want to hurt the Bat's feelings. In retaliation, Batman sabotages Copperpot's Save the Homeless fundraiser by using some chicken shit ChatGPT deepfake.
Hey, just relax. I'll take care of the squealing, wretched, pinhead puppets of Gotham.
Orphan.
I didn't say that.
Batman becomes so lost in the sauce that in the second act, Sabrina Kyle tries to distract him with her Domina outfit. Oh, yes. There's some good back and forth in this scene, but they don't even try to set up a stepsister angle. And this does not sit well with Batman. Jesus, he's worse than Jim Jones. By the time the third act gets rolling, Penguin has had enough of Batman's bullshit. He's armed a bunch of penguins with black market rocket launchers he bought off Alibaba. Because at a certain point, this movie goes full-on silly pants. Let's remember, Copperpot's biological father is Pee-wee f***ing Herman. Rest in peace, Paul. Meanwhile, his adopted father.
Bastard from a basket!
We approach the film's denouement.
That's a French term, you brainless hicks.
Batman ends up crashing the Penguin's water park in his flashy dick boat. That pisses off Copperpot, who's trying to prep for an important audition. So then it's Batman and Copperpot talking shit back and forth, and Chris Walken has to show up in order to play referee to these two bickering asswipes. And then Catwoman shows up to talk some big shit of her own, and in order to really piss off Batman, she finally gives Walken that hot kiss she's been holding back for the whole movie. Batman's blood pressure is higher than a goddamn weather balloon, so... Oh, come on, Batman. God damn it! And that's pretty much it. That's Batman Returns.
I think I liked Batman better before he started listening to f***ing Bon Iver and Hawthorne Heights.
It was one of those quiet movies that never led to any controversy. Tune in next week when we will definitely be covering Batman and Robin. Obviously, that one hasn't been done to death by Jack Paul and 1,000 other YouTube assholes. Hey, gang. Who'd like to hear my impression of Chris Walken visiting the gynecologist?